Hello everyone and welcome. This is Christine with Patter Crafts, and today I'm making 10 cards using this paper pad here from Doodlebug. I'll be using these cupcake images and some card sketches. I'll be digging into my stash to try to use some things up today. So let's get started. Now, I made these cards back in May, so you may have seen them posted to my Instagram already. I definitely had a little bit of a challenge doing the voiceover for this video because it is 13 minutes long. I don't really feel like the cards need a ton of instruction. I'm using card sketches and patterned paper. I'm not really doing anything that's technique driven. But let's see how we do today. So first off, this pattern paper pad is super cute. And it is not available, so I apologize if you loved it and were thinking that you might need it for yourself, but it is not available. As it is, this pad was given to me as a gift from Craftaholic Mama. She was kind enough to give this to me, and when I went online to try to find some things of Doodlebugs that go with it, like their icon stickers or their odds and ends or doodle pops, any of that stuff, I couldn't find anything for this collection, and that's where the cupcakes come in. So the paper that I'm using today was really great to use because I needed to stock up on some birthday cards. The months of May and June and July, there are a lot of birthdays, especially July. We have a lot of July birthdays in both my side of the family and my husband's side of the family. So I definitely wanted to stock up on some cards. This paper was perfect because it's gender neutral. It doesn't matter how old you are. You could be 60 or 6 and you could appreciate the card. It's kind of cutesy, but it's not so cutesy that I don't feel like I could give an adult one of these cards. And when I'm using pattern paper, I do reach to my binder of card sketches. I usually go online to places like Pinterest, or I just might Google card sketches or card sketch ideas, and I look for card sketches. I love it when they have the measurements for you, but if they don't have the measurements, I really have to love it because to try to have to sit down and think about those measurements, I find a little intimidating. Now, once I make a card with it, I will write those measurements down though, so I don't have to do that again. Because one of the biggest reasons I love using card sketches is, for me, it's kind of mindless crafting. Like, I can still make cards and I can enjoy the process, but I don't have to feel the stress of trying to come up with new ideas. Like, I'll just grab a pattern paper pad, which I've done today. I've already grabbed the 10 sketches that I want to use, and we're just going to go ahead and create those cards. And that is one of my favorite things about sketches. And sketches are basically just a starting point, like give you an idea. You can follow it exactly, or you could start to follow it and then you're like, hey, but look at this, or I want to do that. And that's one of those really cool things about sketches. It doesn't matter, just you do what makes you feel happy. So I absolutely love them, can't say enough about them, because sometimes we just need to craft and not think too hard about it. Not that I don't love technique-driven cards or, cards that take, an hour to do one card and not like 5 of them, but it is one of my favorites. Considering this year is a use what's in my stash. Now, for me, I feel I have a lot of pattern paper. I feel like I need to use it up because there's so much other great pattern paper coming out, and it's really hard to resist buying the new pattern paper pads that come out from all these great companies, because I look at my box that has my 6x6 pattern paper in it and I'm like, girl, you got to use this. So that is one of my goals this year, is kind of using what's in my stash. There's going to be a lot of pattern papered cards this year. I have not 100% followed my you can't buy any more pattern paper until you use what you have, but I've definitely not purchased as much as I wanted to because I need to use what I have. And sometimes it is to like, I just love the pattern paper so much. I don't want to use it because then I know I won't have it anymore. And that probably sounds really silly. And some of you may understand that completely, but there's that too. So, other things that I've brought in from my stash is colored cardstock. I don't know about you, but when I first started card making, I thought I needed to have all the colors of cardstock. And who can resist those big box craft store sales when you can go in and they're like, hey, it's 5 packs for $10. And you're like, ooh, yeah, right? That might just be me, but I definitely took advantage of those types of sales. I bought solids and I bought the multi-packs, that have like, they might have like 6 different reds in a package, or they might have, all the primary colors or all these. Anyway, you know what packs I'm talking about. So I purchased a lot of those, but I don't find that I use them. Now, when I first started craft making, I did a lot with my Cricut, and I'd make all the little critters and cut out all of my letters, so I could make my sentiments in the whole 9 yards. And at that time, I kind of enjoyed that. I had not discovered stamps really at that time. I mean, I had a couple sentiment stamps like happy birthday or thank you, but I didn't really have any idea the rabbit hole I'd be going into once I started using stamps. So once I kind of got into that process, the Cricut kind of lost its appeal to me. And I really started to dislike the process of putting all those little pieces together. Now, the end product, I loved them. Don't get me wrong. I loved the little reindeer and the frogs and the bears and the little cute babies, but I did not love the process of putting them all together. And then I got to a point where I thought, well, if I'm going to make 2, I may as well make 10, because then I can just do it assembly line style. Long story short, they did do that for a little while, but I have not used a Cricut in years. My Cricut doesn't even really work anymore, and I have sold all of my cartridges, but I can't put myself up to actually throwing my Cricut away. I'm not sure if the power cord is bad or if just the machine is broke. But anyway, so I'm trying to use up a lot more of the colored cardstock is basically where I was going with that one. Other things that I'm trying to use are gems and the enamel dots and, things like that, because I do have a lot of them. They're going to lose their stick over the time. They're just sitting there, looking pretty in a box if I open the cover. So I really need to use them. So I broke those out also for today. Things like ribbon. I love ribbon. I think that when I got on a ribbon kick, I bought the wrong types of ribbon for card making. So I've been trying to use what I have and then just be more mindful of what I purchase if I purchase some now, which I really don't, because I do have a nice sized box of ribbon and all the ribbon is really pretty. I just don't know how it really works in my card making now. So I am trying to incorporate some more of that. So not tons, and some of it is just that the ribbon doesn't match what I'm making. So there's all of that. Now I want to mention the image I'm using really quick. You can see this one here, this little cupcake. It's super adorable. This cupcake is a digital image from the Not Too Shabby shop. I did get that back in May. At that time, it was a free download. I do not know if that is still a free download, but I do know it's still in her shop. So I will go ahead and link it in the description below in case you like the little cupcake. Digital images are definitely new to me as of May of this year. I had never used a digital image. I found them very intimidating. There was so much to consider, and then I'm more of a hands-on person too, so that probably didn't help. But I do like some of the digital images. Like, they're just so stinking cute, and they only come as a digital image, so I would just go without. But I purchased a couple from the Not Too Shabby shop. I did pick up a few that were on the, I don't want to say freebie, but there was no fee for them at the time that I purchased them. And it was really great because, like, this cupcake was the first digital image I had ever used. And it was a little bit of a learning curve to figure out, like, how to use it. I did have to Google some videos because I figured you just download it and you can print it. Well, you can, but not on my computer. So I had to learn how to kind of do that. And I'm still learning. Like, I'm still learning how to size things, what the size that I think I'm creating, what is it really printing out. And then I had the whole stress of, can my printer even handle printing this out? Can my printer handle printing 80-pound cardstock? Or am I going to have to use a lighter cardstock? And if I use a lighter cardstock, then are my markers going to bleed? Or like, I had all these like what ifs, and instead of just, like taking it and going with it and trying it, I always just shied away from it. And would, even if all right, so if I get it to print, then from there, how will my coloring mediums work with the printer ink? Well, guess what, guys? That was all a bunch of worrying for nothing. My printer can print on the 80-pound cardstock, and I can use my Copic markers. I can use water, and it doesn't smear. And so all of that was worries for nothing. And now I find that digital images are definitely something I would consider, whereas before they're nothing I would consider. It's still a little bit of a learning curve, especially if I get a digital image that's in a slightly different, I don't want to necessarily say it's format, because I don't know if it's a format issue, but I feel like the way they're saved on my computer is a little bit different, a couple of the different companies. And I can't even really explain it that well because it's still all new to me. But anyway, thank you so very much for joining me today. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. I apologize for all my rambling. If you want to see more from me and you have not already hit that subscribe button, I would appreciate it if you would hit that subscribe button. If you want to know when I upload next, don't forget to hit the notification bell. But until next time, everyone, have a great day. Thank you for watching. Bye.